It's Sunday, it's 8 o'clock, it's stream time. Hi folks, and welcome back to Conan Exiles. How is everybody this lovely Sunday evening here in Scotland? It's been a very pleasant day. How is everybody else around the world? Right, let me see. Lots and lots of chat. Let's scroll up to the top. Ooh, Phantom 6767 was first. Hello all, says Phantom. Angelo was second. The Gremlin and I send our love to the greatest community in gaming. All hail the Anger Army, 100%. And Ian Ogg is in third place with good morning, afternoon, evening, exiles, nomads and lunatics. Do whatever it is you want to do with the thumbs up button and stay sober-ish. Well said, Ian. Robert Mannix, how are you? Good to see you, Robert. Well done to Phantom for being first, indeed, yes. Mandy B, good to see you. Beck the Tinkerbot, good to see you. Hey everyone, unfortunately I'm going to be at work today, so I'm going to miss the stream. No problem, Beck. You'll watch it when you get home. Okay, thank you very much, Beck. Good to see you here anyway. Bulwark. What's up, guys? Kind of early for the stream. Yeah, you made it in time. Good to see you, Bulwark. Sheriff Noman says, good evening all. I see there isn't enough chat for Anger to read at the beginning of his stream yet. Keep it together, guys, and don't forget to like. I'm guessing you posted that a while ago, because there seems to be plenty of chat now. But good to see you anyway, Sheriff. Zarmal, good to see you. Evening. Trip FTW, hello to you. Gromdal Granite Hand, good to see you. Campfire Clowns, hello Mac, how are you? Scott Cooney, good to see you. Griznak, good to see you. Scott Cooney, I swear I thought this was usually an hour later. So Scott, the clocks went forward in the UK last weekend. So we're now into the second week of daylight saving times and official British summertime. Shade, good to see you. How are you? Six Badges, bonsoir. How are you? Good to see you, mon ami. Nice seeing Six Badges was involved with Sesame Street Fighter and his latest Nomad run this week on Sesame's channel. Six Badges took a try along with Sesame to learn the ropes of the Nomad runs. So there was a couple of episodes out on Sesame's channel from that. So two or three of them were featuring Six Badges. So make sure you pop over to Sesame's channel and check that out. Goes not saying, yep, it could be the clocks changed last week. Correct. In I don't know if it's the whole of Europe, but certainly in the UK, the clocks changed last week. DC Weston, good to see you. Sodovich says something in a language that I can't read. Can I translate that? Not on here. If possible, could you keep it to English, please, just to make it easier to moderate? Thank you. Hello from UA. UA. What is UA? I'm not sure. But welcome to you anyway. Max loves the stream yesterday. Surges are one of my favourite things on Sipta. So I've just been trying to catch up with Max and their Surges stream that they did last night. I think I don't know, an hour and a half, 2 hours of it so far. Been a busy weekend for me, but I was just trying to catch up with a little bit of it there. So entertaining as always with the chaos from the man shaft. Kenneth Brunner, good to see you. Campfire Clowns says thanks. We had great fun, and I never did surge in that dimension. Had a great company on Sipta and in chat. Good to see you. I saw that Kathy Ann and Robert were in your chat. Trip saying, been well over a year since I've done a surge. It was traumatic. Good company makes it more fun. Yeah, doing it as a group seems to definitely be more fun. I've only ever done it solo, and it's especially doing a high level surge solo. I think because the color, as you put the unstable question mark stuff, or Moira was putting them in, the more you put in, you get the different levels as it goes up the steps, and it should be blue, but yours were red. So I think you'd put it over the maximum limit, so you get the chance of, I can't remember the term, it's like a calamity or a oversurge or something like that, where it can get even more crazy. But I noticed that the steps were all, the glyphs around the steps were all red, which means you were over the limit. Let me see. Robert saying the Maelstrom is good fun as well. It is. Game Labs did an excellent video a couple of weeks ago with all these crazy crew running about doing Maelstroms. Kathy Ann, good to see you. How are you? Monkey Balls, good to see you. Speak of the Devil, there is Game Labs. Good to see you, Game Labs. Game Labs video on stream on Friday was very entertaining. He was doing a tour of different people's bases on his server, and some amazing bases on that server. The Kathy Ann and Robert's bases, where you do your different layer thing, my brain doesn't work well enough to be able to link all those things together. And was it Naughty's base that was built into the steps just above the Shattered Springs? That was phenomenal. That was amazing. A lot of hard work involved in those bases. Let me see who else is here. Zeros, good to see ya. Joe Kim, good to see you. Sarmal saying 9 PM here already, an hour ahead of me. Lodovich just said hello from UA again. I don't know where UA is. Can somebody educate me? Finally able to catch a stream. Greetings, Zereth. Welcome along to the stream. There's that. Get my tongue round that words. Sesame Street Fighter. How are you? Great to see you. Training some new nomads. Yes, I'm seeing that. Swapped over to, is it Trip's server that you've swapped over to, Sesame, for less lag for you, but more lag for the Europeans. I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing. Everybody's saying hello to everybody. It's great to see. Eldane902, good to see you. Sesame says, sup new nomads, 6 badges in max, also thanks to Trip FDW. Bulwark's asking Kathy if she's feeling better. She was feeling a bit under the weather on Friday, so hope you're feeling better, Kathy. Aerogek said, I still don't know why we do that. Why can't the numbers stay the same all the time, like they said they wanted to do, but chose to keep the hour change? That messes me up majorly. Yeah, every time they do the changes in the UK, I believe it's originally because of farmers, and it was allowing farmers to have more daylight time. And also they mentioned now it's safety for children going to school, but since no children walk to school anymore, I don't think that's a thing. But they keep talking about changing it back again, but or leaving it so it doesn't change throughout the year, but nothing has ever come about that yet. Solfain Nejmaui, or however you pronounce that. Always a joy to see you live. I'm at the moment recreating your latest base build in your playthrough in Sipta. Much love from Morocco. Well, welcome. It's Ukraine. Ah, okay. That makes sense now. Thank you. And welcome along. Welcome along. UA is usually Ukraine for number plates, says 6 badges. There you go. It is indeed. Campfire Clown is some good fun. Yeah, Campfire Clown streams are always entertaining, that's for sure. Sesame says, I've done a surge with Granny Gamester and gone Soulfire at the same time. Legendary surge run. Nice one, Sesame. Dennis Paradis says, every time I play on Sipta, I always end up going back to Exiled Lands. Exiled Lands is my favourite too. Kathy Ann laughed a lot watching Mac and the crew, and they tend to find that the more they drink, the more you laugh. Problem is, Kathy, is if you sit up late watching them while drinking too, you're going to get pretty drunk as well. I know this. I know this. 6 badges. Calamity caused by a calamity. That's what it is. Caused by more than 1,000 swirling chaos. There you go. That's the term. Aros, can you summarise what the March patch changed? Was it a lot? Essentially, Aros, the March patch fixed a lot of bugs. There was a huge list of bug fixes. Because of the... Let me see. Oh, go punch it again. Because of the lag that was getting caused by the Almariah base over here, the giant Almariah base that got put in... When was that? The Chapter 3 of Age of War, they put the huge PvE raid base in here with loads of building piece. It was causing a lot of lag and a lot of issues with people, so that got removed. And I can't show you it quite now, but they introduced... Oh, I've got rid of it. They introduced a compass. I'm using the... Let me see. I'm using the Hosaf's custom UI mod that gives me this, which automatically has a compass, but the normal circles on the normal UI under here, that's your food, your water, your heat and your encumbrance, it added a little compass on the end of it so you could see which direction you were going. We've got the mini map, which much easier, we can see where we're going, but that's essentially it. Lots of bug fixes, introduced a compass, which is, I suppose that's great for console players who haven't got the option of mods, and they took away the Almariah base. But the main thing was bug fixes. Kathy Ann is saying it was not his base that was that awesome base. Really cool. Sam Hirschberger, good to see you. From the USA. Google comes up with the United Arab Emirates, so that would be UAE for the United Arab Emirates, but UA is short for Ukraine, we now know. Thorforge, I'm here for just a moment before I have to step away. The Manshaft had a good time on Saturday night. Excellent, Thor. Thanks for popping by. Have a pleasant evening, or afternoon in your case. Monkey Balls says, is the Black Sword of Almariah still in the game, if anyone knows? So the Black Sword is Musashi's Black Blade, and that has always been in the game. You just have to, it's not a, obviously it was a guaranteed spawn just propped up in the Almariah base, but the Black Sword of Almariah, of Musashi's Black Blade has always been in the game, and you just have to find it in legendary chests now. Oh, the jokes have started. Ian says, I'd just like to say RIP to boiling water. You'll be missed. Oh dear. Aerogex says, I'll be farming AOC Sapphire gems because I need a ton of spirit potions and I'm getting my hatchet levels up by doing so. Yay. Is that Age of Calamity mod, Aero? In the USA, they want to stop this whole spring forward, fall back BS. They want to do that here as well. Lots of people have said that, but nothing's ever happened yet. Monkey Balls, you mean the katana? It's always been in the game, but now you have to find it in the chest again, says Grishnak. Yep, there we go. The Bearded Phoenix, good to see you. How are you? Dick Maslick. Hey everyone, I'm pretty new to the game. Curious what the skirt is called so I can try to get one for my transmog. It's not the Aqualo. Do you mean the armor set that I'm wearing right now? Because if it is, this is the Royal Armor set, and it was only available for people who pre-ordered the game many years ago. Is it a transmog? It is a transmog, because I'm actually running perfected medium gear, but it's transmog to look like the Royal Armor set, which, as I say, is a limited set that was available to people who pre-ordered the game way back in the day. Let's see who else is here. I think that's maybe Outdo Gaming. Good to see you. Outdo me duck. Kathy Ann says, Anger, migraine has gone. Saturday I ended up hyperactive and now Sunday I'm wiped out. Oh dear. The highs and lows then, Kathy Ann, eh? Outdo Aero. The last few times I've been rather ill, so I couldn't play with Mac. Oh dear. Everybody saying hello to each other. of chat. Is the armor modded or DLC? We've just covered that. What do you call two monkeys that share an Amazon account? Says Kathy Ann. Prime mates. Sesame says, I told my girlfriend she drew her eyebrows too high. She seemed surprised. I like that one. I like that one. Naughty, here we go. We were just talking about you, Naughty, and your awesome base over in Game Labs' server. How are you? Thor says, I find it interesting, stroke a pain, that DLC armor and weapons can be used and shared, but Battle Pass Bazaar items cannot be shared unless the other player has it as well. I don't get the point of that. Yeah, that doesn't make sense, because if you have to buy the DLC to get those items, but then you can share them. Obviously, you have to buy. I guess it's something to do with it's something to do with the live services with the Battle Pass and Bazaar items. That because I remember we had a stream a long time ago that there was a problem with the Funcom live services, and you could still get into the single player game, but obviously you didn't have a connection to the live services, and I couldn't control my horses because they used skins from Battle Pass items, and it basically didn't know that your account owned them. But it is weird that if the DLCs can be shared, then why can't the Battle Pass stuff? But hey ho. Gamer says, welcome to all the new people. Anything you need to know, just ask. The knowledge between you. 100%. Any questions, just throw them in the chat. If usually by the time I read them, some of the wonderful knowledge in the chat will answer it for you. But we'll all try and help you out. Confused Barbarian, hello, good to see you. Oscar, good to see you. Bought the year 2 DLC pack and I'm having a blast with it. I'm really enjoying the training pack. Excellent. Nice one, Oscar. Wanted to thank you for the beginner series. It's not been for you, I would have up long ago without the tips. Wish the staff of Trower was a bit more straightforward. Thank you, Dick. Good to see you. Next goal is to build a tree fort. Ooh, nice one. Right, I suppose we better get started. It's already 20 past. Right, so in the last episode, we went on a bit of a run, did various stuff, testing out update stuff. But one of the things we did was we were trying to get weathered skulls to progress. We need 20 weathered skulls to progress our Tomb of Kurak. So we went and we used the Zathite dagger on spiders, and we got 4 of these Zathite bags. So we're going to open these, and hopefully we'll get enough skulls out of this. So open the first one, straight away we've got 100 weather skulls. There we go, we did it. Also got 40 ichor. Open this one, bone and ichor. Crocodile carcass, more weather skulls, and ostrich cartridge and more bone. Okay, so we've got lots of bone now. And now we're really heavy. Let's put more skulls in there. Let's go over. I think we can squish carcasses. Carcass. Yep. So we've got some bones out of that and some bone. Okay, not very exciting, but we've got some anyway. Chuck the bones in there, chuck the ichor in there. Okay. Right, so we can progress this now. Tomb of Kurak. Learn. Sesame says yes, it's a veritable compendium of Conan Exiles. It is indeed. Zereth, not a fan of horses in Conan. Stamina regen is awful and they are manoeuvrable as a school bus. I disagree. I think the horses are far more manoeuvrable. That's why I prefer horses over rhinos, because they're much more manoeuvrable. But the trick is that if you're holding forward on them, they will slowly turn. But if you just take your finger off the forward button and hit left or right, they will turn like on a dime. So if you're running along, sprinting along on a horse, and you just take your finger off the button, they will quickly turn. If you don't, they will just slowly turn. A lot of people on consoles have a lot of issue, or not necessarily in consoles, but with a controller have issues with horses because you're having to push the thumbstick forward, and if you've not got it 100% forward, it'll be weaving from left to right. Obviously, on a mouse and keyboard, you press the W key, and W key is straight forward, so it's easy. Oh, we've got lots of chat going on. We've already scrolled off the top of the screen. Wow. Let me see. You let off the forward button on the horse, it turns better. There you go. Dick McSlick said it. Campfire Clowns, you got all your religious relics from the stream last night. I had to do mom care. So yeah, the idea of Campfire Clowns stream last night where they were doing surges trying to get all the different religious relics to learn the religions. Better luck than my last attempt. Got 5 bags, not one contains skull. Well, that's rare. Catherine, you're enjoying the stream, then consider smashing the like button. Gently, as we say around here. Oscar, have you watched Anna Barella's new video as well? That's where I found out about them today. That tree forts that we're talking about there? You'll have to watch the live stream back to find out, says Six Badges. Oh, nice one. Good idea, making people watch the stream. What are those carcasses for? The spider boss and the dregs. Oh, so they're, if you have an animal and let it expire in your inventory, you get a carcass. So it's really the death of an animal. It leaves you with a carcass, but you can chuck the carcasses in the fluid press, and you quite often will get blood or bones or both. Bacon Bus, good to see you. How are you? Question for the veterans from Sheriff. Were you able to transmog armor before the Age of Sorcery? No, you wasn't. The introduction of the Thaumaturgy bench in Age of Sorcery was the original when we could transmog. You put the gear that you want the stats of in here, but you don't like the look of. You put the item that you like the look of, but don't like the stats in here, and hit combined, and it gives you the stats of this with the looks of that. So that came with Age of Sorcery. Chapter 1. You need to use a scout saddle. They are much better to work with. Again, that's for horses. Oh my god, there's so much going on. I can't keep up. Unless you power slide a horse off the cliff. Yes. William Maxwell, good to see you, William. Let's see, you're still going to record your videos on OBS and edit on... Oh, okay, so Sesame's asking Ian. Ian's been having some issues with recording and editing. So, that reminds... So tomorrow, Ian, I will go and I will pick out the settings. So I've got a recording scene in OBS and a streaming scene in OBS. I will go to my recording and I'll make a note of the settings and I'll stick them on Discord so you can see what settings I use to do my recording with. Good evening. Power slide off the... not much but wasted weight. You can only get a bit of blood and bones when you put in the press. That's true. That's true. Yeah, so not much use for them at all. They like I say, they are meant to be... what happens if you have, so if we get an animal out the fridge, like this pebble nose here, you can see it expires in 18 hours and 25 minutes. And when an animal expires, you get a carcass. That's what you get. So it's a bit like when your food expires, you get spoilt meat. When an animal expires, you get a carcass. So it's not really an item that you would use. It is just the what's left over if you don't do stuff right. Better off just farming I've tabbed out of the screen. There we go. Better off farming a few humans for the meat and then use that in the press. Yeah, so it's not really what they're for. Like I say, it's just what's left over. Frankie Foster says, don't forget about the journey steps. Okay. Can't see Dick McSlick in chat. I'm here. There he is. Yanni Panker, good to see you. Hello to you too. Okay, let me skip forward a little bit. Why do you prefer Grey Lotus potions over easier to get Black Lotus potions? First person shooter. Are they easier to get? I suppose you could go and harvest Black Lotus, and then put them in the dryer, in the grinder to make Black Lotus powder. But I get you can use that. But look, I've got Lotus potions and I've got 57. You get so much Grey Lotus powder from mobs these days that it's not back in the day before everybody dropped all this cool stuff. Then that would have been the way to do it, to make the strength weapon potions, is because you can't grow, or you can't find Grey Lotus in the wild. You had to get it out of chests and stuff like that, or grow your own. But you could go off to the Black Garden, is it called? Out here, the Black Garden, that has got lots of Black Lotus in it. You could go over there and harvest your own and make your own Black Lotus potions. But I get so much Grey Lotus, it's free. So you don't get much cheaper than that. Would have assumed that the carcass would be for taxidermy. Possibly. That's something I've never actually done. I've never done the taxidermy stuff. Other than the heads. Decoration. Yeah, so the taxidermy stuff I've done is just, it's the heads on trophies. So that is, you chop the head off a creature and then mount it on some shaped wood to stick it on your wall. David William George Newell, good to see you. OBS settings would be great to see, Anger, thanks. Okay, Thorforge, not a problem. The best cure for a hangover is to keep drinking. Yeah, I'll get my settings sorted out, and I'll get them. Maybe I should do a video of how I edit videos as well. Would that be of interest to anybody? The process I go through in my editing. The recording is just recording. You record the bits. Once you've got the settings, you record the various sections, but then edit them together, and the settings I use inside DaVinci Resolve to edit my videos. Would that be of interest to many people? I think it would be interest to Ian. I think Ian's been struggling to get his videos edited, so maybe I should do that. Let's see. You've got so much chat going on tonight. Jim Ewing, good to see you. How are you? Is there an Easter egg with the Lotus potions? They seem to point to the dregs. So each potion, the whole potion thing starts with what's his name? Nunu the cannibal. Down here-ish. There, Shaman's Rise. He tells you about potions, and I think he mentions Yellow Lotus potion. I can't remember, but when you take a potion yourself, a little wisp flies off, and it basically flies off in the direction of the next potion, where you get the next potion. And if you do them all, it'll basically point you to all the different potions. For the taxidermy, it's skin and other things. There's not a carcass in use for unless they've changed it recently. What kind of drink could be bitter and sweet? Reality. Badoomch. Orforge would like to see some video editing too. So would Ian. Okay, well maybe I'll look into that. It's not really a tricks and tips video, but I'll look into doing a video on how I edit my videos. I'm going to edit a video on how I edit my video. There we go, Videoception. Sesame says, yeah, do that as well on game capture and editing. Okay, that seems to be a thing then. DC member, remember, empty your horse, food and drink for you and your friend. Make sure you have keys, pork your friend. Let's go. Yeah, indeed. I was just speculating about the carcasses. Would have made sense to me. Was talking my ass though. It's a reasonable assumption. It's a reasonable assumption. Oh, Bacon Bus and Trip would like the video editing as well. Borbin would love to see that. Just started creating content again after not editing for years. Okay. Nunu, yes, Nunu the cannibal. Half an hour in and Anger's barely moves. That's the. I'm just here to chat with you guys. First person shooter, and there's so much chat going on, it's hard to keep up. Right, one trip to the jungle at level 12, and you've got all the Black Lotus for strength weapon, damage potions you'll ever need. Yeah, that's fine. That's not a problem. However, I have got all the Grey Lotus potion I'll ever need. Between this Grey Lotus flowers and that there. So yeah, both of them do the same thing, and there's also the Elixir of Might that does the same thing too. So you can do any of those, not a problem. It just so happens that I have loads of Grey Lotus, so I use that. Okay, right, let's get moved on. With so many of us doing co-op these days, it would be great to know how to do it properly. I'm not saying properly, I'm just saying how I do it. Kathy Ann, my wife asked me to go get 6 cans of Sprite from the grocery store. I realised when I got home I picked 7 up. Oh dear, oh dear. I don't know how well that one will translate. Do you get 7 up in other parts of the world? Not going to get anything done in this rate. It's quite common on our streams for us not to do anything at all for a while. Yellow Lotus, especially when it used to be a stat reset potion. It used to be, yeah, but it is now a agility potion. Yeah, we put 2 rock noses. I think we put one in at the beginning of the stream and got a normal rock nose, and then we put 2 more in and we got greater rock noses. And this guy had a load of health and decent armor. I've now leveled him up to level 6 off camera just to get a couple of levels on him. And let me show you. So he's got 3,766 HP and 444 armor without him following me, compared to Brownie, who has got 5,859 HP and 866 armor, but he's obviously level 18 now. But if I make him follow me, his HP goes up to 6,556, all very good. His armor's up to 1,244, all very good. However, let's see, so he doesn't have the best in strength. Let me see. So, funnily enough, stone is the food that'll buff his strength, but also is reasonable healing as well. Let me take him for a run. Let's check him out. Mark Santos, good to see you. How are you? Count me in on the process video. I use a Premiere knockoff called Olive. Would love the tips. Okay, first person shooter. Called the behind the scenes. So, do some damage, do some damage. Only doing 33 damage. Not great. Let's pop off. See the undead dude over here. Pepsi versus Coke products. Okay, so it's a very similar thing, Sprite and 7-Up. But one's a PepsiCo and the other one's a Coke product. Isn't 7-Up the same as Sprite? Yeah, I believe they are very, very, very similar recipes. Right, here's the guy standing at the door. He's doing 71 damage to him. But when you consider Brownie is doing hundreds of damage to them. Feed him Ironstone. So Ironstone is for HP, and he's got enough HP, and also not great health. What we do need is we need a little bit of Obsidian to give him that 25% buff to start with, but we haven't got any of that. Bulwark, it's a little different, has a lighter taste, I suppose, been years since I had a 7-Up. But they're similar, they're very similar. So yeah, Ironstone will give him a buff to his vitality, which we don't need, because he's got 6,500 already. But what he does need is he needs, I imagine feeding him star metal ore. Don't think so. Attacks are too slow. Yeah, his attacks are slow, although he does do that triple thing. Like, he's basically a mini rock slide, so he does that sort of 360. So he does 3 damages, 3 hits in one go. But he doesn't take a lot of, because he's got so much armor, he doesn't take a lot of damage. Go on, do your spin thing. So 33 on that one. Oh no, it's 33 to the follower. 6 to 8 he's doing. Go on, do your spin. There he goes. He does 3 hits at a time, but obviously there's 2 of them up there. A good irritate tank. Yeah, 100% he's a good tank. Rocknose is better versus Hyman crowds. Human crowds? Yeah, so the basic problem is he... Ooh, look, I'll take that. He just doesn't do enough damage. We could maybe get him fully leveled up and see what damage he does. If I've got strength buffs on him... so I'm buffing his strength by 4. So he's only got 40% growth chance, which is unlucky. So even with the 14%, he's only going up to 54% chance to get a strength buff. So he's up to 11. He's up to... Was that not 9 before? There we go. He's back to 100%. So yeah, can you carry that for me, please? Because it's really heavy. So that's a bit disappointing, because he's got the HP. Greater Scorpion is next. Ooh, we'd have to do the... We'd have to go and get... How do you know which ability is boosted by which food, says Diane. So, the real answer to that is look up the wiki. It just so happens, I happen to know that this food here, the third one here, these are the 2 I normally am using all the time. And this one buffs vitality. It gives a 14% buff chance to vitality. And this one gives a 14% chance to buff strength weapon damage. So these are the 2 I normally use. I would have to go and check. Let's go and have a look at Bear Brownie. Yeah, I need to get scorpion eggs. It's too good for a low tier fighter. Right, let me check you out. So I think it's this one gives you 14% agility. I think that's the agility one. But for all followers, if you give them one piece, just one piece of the first item in their diet, it gives them a 25% strength weapon damage. So if I dropped one piece of honey in there, you would get a 25% strength weapon damage. The first piece in there is obsidian, so I need to find obsidian from somewhere to give them that. Right. Go back here. I think... Yeah, I'll just leave that pannings on you. I think we still have snake eggs. Well, they're not even... They're not in here. Did I leave them out in the... Because they don't expire. Maybe we should get a giant snake on the go. Yeah, there they are. We've got 3 Cobra Hatchlings. Okay. Let me quickly look up the wiki and see what the bonus food... Gobble... Can't remember what the... Is it Cobra Elite? Cobra Alpha. Cobra Alphas are... 20%, 25%, 30%. Spiced... Shade Spice Perfect Cut of Meat. That's the exquisite meat one, isn't it? Just check that's right before I go and make it. Is it going to tell me how to... There it is. Exquisite meat, yes. I'm going to need a bunch of exquisite meat. Let's get a giant snake on the go. Have they ever made the greater snake available in the bazaar? It was a battle pass thing. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. They are certainly rolling a bunch of the items that were battle pass things back in the day. They are now rolling them into the bazaar so you can buy them. Oh, I don't have much exquisite meat. Let's go and chuck that in. How much do you need? Iron perfect cut of meat. That's the one. I need 3. Craft. Scrolled off the top of the screen again. Love to see the whole process sometimes, says Dan Irvin, no problem. Diane says thanks for answering, no problem. Dick says imagine being at a point where you can just feed your little dude star metal ore. Aye, so was it last time or the time before that we were up at in the north, and we were at the location where Sesame had his base on Wyvern's server that we were talking about. Right, chuck that back in the fridge. And yeah, he was out of his ears with star metal. Right, let's go and get the snakes. 1, 2, 3, and be over encumbered. The giant snake was a bazaar. The greater snake is a small version. Yeah, so it's the bazaar item. The elite cobra is absolutely horrible. They're not very good at all. Okay. I don't want the rhino. Let's chuck the snakes in, and then off they go. Right, so they should grow in, and hopefully we can get an elite cobra, and then we can use some sorcery to make what are they called? There's it there. Serpent, not a snake, it's a serpent. So we need a Cobra Alpha and some sorceress pet food, and we can get ourselves a... Which I do remember they were awesome when they first came out. They did a lot of damage, but at that point in time I never took note of their health and their armour, which is what we've found in this series to be the limiting factor. Right, we need sorceress pet food, which means we need some gruel. Do I have any gruel in here? Really? I don't have any gruel. Do I still have a pen outside the front door? I do. Take some of that. There's somebody in there. There is. A Sumerian berserker. Of course, we got a berserker when we were up at the Mounds of the Dead. Chuck that in there. And make a couple of them. Let me see. They weigh 50 pounds as hatchlings, I know. I think all animals weigh 50 pounds. Sesame's never seen those hatchlings before. So they introduced them... Was that Age of Sorcery or Age of War? They introduced snake eggs around in various locations around the map. And you could pick up the snake eggs, hatch them into hatchlings. Same, it's the usual thing. They take 25 hours to hatch normally, or you stick them in a compost bin and they'll hatch in an hour and 10 minutes or something. And then once you've got the hatchling, you can chuck it in the animal pen and turn them into cobras. And the normal cobras are rubbish, but if you use one to make those giant serpents, this one's here, the elite version, they are actually pretty damn good. Have they ever made it? Okay. I'm also back now. Time to farm after I got my toaster strudel. As much as a zoology is my first love, I'm only a beginner in terms of using animal pens in game. Yeah, it's not really a thing for the nomad. Giant snake was a bizarre. The greater snake is a small version. Yeah, autocorrect. The game has giant crocs that can't kill you in deep water. Indeed. Always something I found interesting, that the crocs don't kill you. And you can swim away from them in the water. It's a bit silly. Right, how are these getting on? We got 2 normal cobras, so they can just go to the farm. And we've got 1 Cobra Alpha. Cool. I think it's bizarre that a baby cobra weighs the same as a baby rhino. Yes. Yeah, there's some things don't make an awful lot of sense. There was somebody in the chat in some of the videos this week were going on about how it's a bit weird that you the weight of things that you need to make like a foundation or whatever, the amount of wood you need to make a wall and stuff like that, just seems a little bit weird. It's a bit out of sync. Right, we need 1 of these, and then we can make 1 of these. There we go. Do they spoil? Expires in... Ooh, look at that. Let's chuck them in the fridge anyway, just in case they do spoil. Right, and then let's get our serpent out and we can have a look and see what stats it's got. I do love how they come out of the ground like that. Why is it still... Oh, because I haven't clicked it yet. I was thinking, why is it still on my hotbar? Right, so it starts with 1,707 HP. It starts with 152 armor. Oh look, it needs exotic flesh as its bonus, feral flesh and raw pork. Okay, they're all doable. Snake eggs were Age of War. Okay, thank you. Starsquid, I found a snake egg on Sipta. They're going through that one giant ruined city on the west coast. Also found a place in Sipta cold enough to hunt. Yeah, there are snake eggs on Sipta too. Twitch drop for Blood Crystal Katana ends in 3 days, says Trip. So if you haven't already got the Twitch drop for the Blood Crystal Katana, or you didn't get it the previous time it came out, go and watch... Wait until this stream's finished, but go and watch some people playing Conan on Twitch, and make sure you link your Conan account with your Twitch account, and you can get that drop. Jim Ewan found a problem with the movie. Conan should be at least 15 when his village gets attacked because he was at the sack of Veradium. Well, there's some lower things that I don't understand there. Nice tamed white rabbits coming back as a Twitch drop. Yeah, so for Easter, that'll be the next Twitch drop, is the white rabbits. We all know Hollywood takes liberties when it comes to certain things. That's true. That is true. Twitch drops, the only one I don't have of the 3 are the Watcher furniture. I don't have the Watcher furniture either. That must have been an older one. Scott Coney is the only place for the black blood up in the 3 caves in the north. Is that the only place? I think it is. You can get blood sacks from certain bosses that when you open up the blood sack, it'll have different kinds of blood in it, and you might, but that's all very random. So if you really want to get some black blood for... Or you can dismantle spell pages. That gives you black blood as well. put spell pages in the dismantler if you've got enough spell pages. Marky Del Sparky, Fit Like, how are you? Good to see you. Odd expiration date on the gruel, yeah. It was on the sorceress, whatever it was called. Right, we need to get him a piece of exotic flesh, uncooked exotic flesh, and probably some feral flesh. Feral flesh is easy. Exotic flesh we could be doing with a... Let me see. Follow. Now his stats are... Oh, he's got 76% on there. 50. Yeah, he definitely needs more vitality. He's got good growth strength on strength already. And on grit. So that's good. He's up at 830. Look at it coming out of the ground. 4,800 HP. Really good. Right, give him that. Use. Do we have any uncooked? No, we don't. But we do have salted pork. We can give him a piece of salted pork. Use that. Now that should have given him 15% strength damage from the Grey Lotus potion and 15% from the salted pork. We're now standing on him. Right, now we need to get him some other meat. Let's go and put some levels on him and see how he gets on. See what kind of damage he does. Right, we'll get feral flesh off of these. Go and get that. Why are you running around with some useless items in your inventory, like the Yog Cleaver and the friend-making gear? The Yog Cleaver. Oh, so we were doing some Yog leveling at one point in time. Yeah. Okay. I'll throw that away. I'll always keep my friend-making gear on me just in case. Right. Feral flesh. There we go. Here. Of that. Let's get Robert with us. Let's go and get some exquisite meat. No, not exquisite meat. What's it called? Stuff that we make the good food out of. Let me see. You never know if you come across a name crafter or a mob you want. Exactly. Hello. Scorpion. See, dismantling failed. Beat me. Dismantling. Yeah, failed pages. Yep. Beat you to it. Good. Amount of black blood you need for sorcery requires a trip to the... So you do need... I think you need 100 altogether, black blood. So the best thing is just to go to the cave. You've got to be dismantling a lot of pages, and I find with sorcery that the limiting factor with sorcery is the sorcerer's spell pages. So I don't want to be wasting them just to get black blood, whereas you can go up and within... You'll get maybe even one of the Black Jill bosses will give you enough black blood. Are the Twitch drops the same as DBD? They work on consoles. I don't see why not. Something, depends, I suppose, whether you get the option to link your Twitch account. So on the login screen, when you log into the game and you've got the option to go to the live, how much damage is it doing? Did that say 67 damage? How much damage you do to that? 67 damage. Okay, so its damage is pretty... The damage they used to do used to be phenomenal when they first came out. They've been badly nerfed. Because that's with a potion and some food buff. Please name your snake after a community member, Anger. I'm curious, Bulwark said, I'm curious to see how much damage he does. I was expecting better damage. When making gear, it's always useful to have ready to hand, says Thor. Indeed, the stick of persuasion and the bindings of employment. Have you got a level? You're at level 1. Need to get them up to at least level 5. No, not exquisite meat. Exquisite meat. What's the stuff that you make this out of? The roasted haunch. That meat. We'll go up and get a rhino and get some off of it. Well, it does do bleed on it though. Spelling is gone to garbage anyway, so go kill the kudu. Yeah, so it's not the exquisite meat we want, it's this meat here. Exotic flesh, that's what we want. Just to give him a bit more of a buff. Get some black blood tools as well. So yeah, if you do the last boss of the Jill cave, you will get a random black blood tool, which is like one of the top tier tools. It does 1 poison, 2 poison. Okay, so it does do stacks poison. Obviously, it killed it so quick. Robert. Let me get on, Robert. Okay, so, I mean, I'm going to say that we're probably not going to be using the snake very much due to the damage numbers, but if anybody wants to have the snake named after them, or wants the option to name the snake, shout out now. You can bind console account to Twitch. Okay, so it looks like you can, so I guess that means Twitch drops do work on console, says Cathy Ann. Excellent. Right. This is where we want to go to find... Hello? Right. Kill the rhino. 39 damage, because also the rhino have got really high armor. So yeah, I'm doing more damage than the snake is. Oh, that rhino's not happy with it. Right, come here. Right, and... there we go, it's now got the 25% increase as well. Just put it up to 44 damage. Ooh. Right, I'll take some of that food for me. Let's see. Seems to be a pattern. New things start off more powerful, then get nerfed. Yeah. I'm sure when we first got them, I've probably got it. I remember using one when we had our base over here on the first stream series on Exiled Lands. I'm sure we had one of these when they first came out, and they were doing hundreds of damage per hit. But yeah, they seem to have been nerfed. Snake name Reptile Dysfunction. What's its starting armor? So its starting armor I think was 400 and something, but then with the follower thing it's up to 934. So its armor's going up really nicely. Its HP is obviously really nice. But its damage is pretty poor. But if we just keep... What does it need to eat for... It needs raw pork to get the increased bonus in stamina, in strength weapon, sorry. Right, I help out on the boss. All we're leveled up. to 1,000 armor now. All good. Right, don't want that, don't want that. Right, we'll just go and we'll go level him up and get him up to level 5. Let's go do more. Robert, come up here. Reptile dysfunction gets revoked too. Okay. Off the horse. Oh no, got caps lock on. Okay, there we go. Named. Teddy Trent, good to see you. Wonder if the potions are... So they were working, because the damage did go up from 30 something up to 40 something. I need to go this way, I'm going the wrong way. Oh, run over it. Snake's a low rider. Pliskin, yeah, Pliskin's a common one for the snakes. It was funnier with the miscapitalization, was it? Hemisphere. Very nice base, thank you. Certain bosses can't hit ground targets. Snakes seem low to the ground. That is a point. That is a point. Right, around here is one of the locations of the eggs. There they are. These white things here. They're snake eggs. So that's where you get the snake egg from. Right, let's go and take on some of these skellies. Ooh. I don't know how to pronounce that name, but good evening to you too, whoever you are. Would you consider making a playlist of all your beautiful bases in your channel? So I've got a playlist on base builds. I've done 3 base build videos and there is a playlist on the base builds. Out of stamina. Also struggling with food. Would you get off so I can look at other things? Right. But obviously the skeletons are not going to bleed. Don't want any of that. Bonk. There we go. I'll take the gold bar, I suppose. How are you getting on? You are at 98%. You're level 4 now. Looks like I wasn't paying attention. Major issue with big animals in game is glitching into them or getting blocks from doors. 100%, yes. Not as much as a fan of the snake since the nerf. No, it's disappointing that he doesn't do... I was expecting him to do lots of damage, and I was wanting to see what his HP and his armor values were, because that's what really makes the difference when you're fighting bosses with him. And that's why Brownie's so good. So things of many of these pets that start out strong and then get nerfed is they become an unbalanced part of PvP, so they try to find a happy medium. It is an unending cycle. These damn PvP players messing up my fun. Did they return again the grey thing when you run out of stamina? Because I don't remember. Yeah, so they've made a change back on the stamina. That was the other thing they introduced in the update. Whoever it was that was asking about the update, is that they've changed the stamina. Before, you had less, or that your moves used more stamina, but your stamina, so you could only do like a 4-part combo, and then you were completely out of stamina, but your stamina came back really quickly. Now, attacks use less stamina, but to balance that out, your stamina returns a bit slower, and if you use all your stamina, you go into the exhaustion mode. If you go into negative stamina, you'll be exhausted, and witch fire powder, silver dust, and it'll take a few seconds for it to start recovering again. So it's a never-ending battle that some people will like one kind of old stamina system, and other people will like the other kind. Right, that's you level 5. 1034 with 5616. It's getting dark. Right, let me just go and check what sort of damage they're doing now. It just says that that name is Greek, pronounced like Janus Bacchae. Well, welcome, Janus Bacchae, if that is indeed correct. Almeria also gone. Yep, we mentioned that before. As the surname is Albanian, pronounced exactly how you said it. Okay, there we go. Albanian. Nice. Welcome along. 3 PV players ruin the game for all of us. Now. I want to go and kill another. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. So how much damage are you doing to it now? 82 with some bleed damage. Still not great, is it? 82. The green thing really makes me nervous. So it's all back to as you had before. You had to be careful not to go into exhaustion. So it's a little bit more, I don't know if skill's the word, but a little bit more care is going to have to be used when you're fighting. But the advantage is you can now do a lot more attacks before you run out of stamina. So previously, so it's more like the original stamina system, but the stamina system that introduced in Age of War, I could do light attack, heavy attack, and I would pretty much be out of stamina. But if you watch there, I'm not even halfway down. Light, heavy. Not even halfway down through my stamina. So you still have to be a little bit more careful, because you get penalised more if you let your stamina go out completely. There we go. Right, okay, so we've tested the giant snake. It's got really good HP, it's got really good armour, so it will make a good tank, but it doesn't do an awful lot of damage. Which is a lot like the Rocknose. Nobody likes getting one-shotted when they're level 60 in epic gear, and that often has happened with some of the pets. I get that. But that's got to be the same with a Delincia or a Berserker. They're doing hundreds of damage as well. And the Greater Bear works, so don't tell Funcom. Don't make sure they don't find out about Brownie and nerf him. Trip says, I love the way the earth rotates. It makes my day.
Kathy liked that one. Right, let's go and park the snake. How long have I been playing the game for? About an hour and 10 minutes. No, I've been playing this game for years. I can't actually remember when I started playing it, but it was a long time ago. Oh, hello. You shouldn't have come over here. The fact that I'm wearing the royal armour, which was available when you bought the game in early access. Am I getting the feral flesh past him? Here we go. Right, here. Have that. And then park. Over there. Right. Let's get rid of this stuff. And let's go... What will we do? We'll go and take on the... Thorford's in. Considering that Anger has that armour, says he's been playing since 2017. That's probably around about right. Will you do a purge with your pets? Yeah, so... could maybe do a lower level one, but as we're finding, most of the pets are not that great. I think only the bear and the Sandreaper Queen do a lot of damage and can tank, says Sheriff. Okay. This is... So... As I've said before, I've never really used pets in any serious manner. I've got the pets and we'll go and run along New River and maybe put some levels on them, but I've never actually used them for serious stuff. If they ask, be sure to tell them the Greater Bear sucks. Indeed, say indeed. So yeah, this is the first time I've played with pets seriously, and I'm surprised how well it's working out. Right, put that in there, chuck that in there, I'll chuck that in there, chuck that away. I'll put that in there, and I'll put that in there, and I'll put this meat in the fridge. I'll get that cooked up later on. Okay, I need some fish. And a piece of honey. And a grey or a black lotus potion. Oh, I do have some black lotus powder, so I could grind that up and get black lotus, but I could just make grey ones. But as usual, each to their own. That's the good thing about this game, you can play it however you want to. Right, Brownie, we're going on an adventure. Of those, of that. Oh, I didn't get any of that. I didn't get any salted pork. Got cooked salted pork? I do. Let's like one of them. And I want to take... Got my staff. I want to take... Ooh, I can't remember. Is it a burlap pouch? Or a cloth pouch? I'll take one of each. And use that. So you get all the buffs. 25% strength, 15% strength from the potion, and another 15% from the food. I think I was playing in 2017. I was playing in the first month the game released. Sabertooth is also good damage but low HP and armor. Yeah, so it was always the Sabertooth I thought was the best pet to have. He's sort of follow him. He's got decent HP. He's up at 4,246 at level 8, but he's only got 472 armor, so it's armor is his problem, her problem, because it's Katian. But they do a lot of damage, and that's true. Where's Robert? Robert? Right, let's go and take on... we're going to go over to the Sinkhole. Where's my map now? There's it is. Which is over here. And we're going to go and take on the Undead Dragon. Is that one of the journey steps? Dungeon... No, it's not. No, it's not. Okay, let's go. Bandy B says, I have the Royal Armour and the role-playing books in which we've just finished a good adventure. Excellent. Funcom developed the game because Anger was playing it Chuck Norris style. Maybe... oh, I've got an ice giant horn in a chest somewhere. We picked up when we were doing the Freya quest. Yes, we'll need to get that out and test it out. I played about with that on my Savage Wilds series. Oh, got knocked off. Right, let's just take these guys out. XP is XP. Oh, I should have also got some water before I left. Oops. We'll get some water on the way. Yeah, we'll definitely have to try out the ice giant. That's another good shout. Thorford's got to go. Have a great stream, everyone. Thanks, Thor. Good to see you. Have a good week. Got gifted the game around 2019 for my PS4. Started playing in 2024, and your videos motivated me to buy on PC. And ever since, I'm really enjoyed grinding it. Wow, nice one. Right, some water up there. Let's go and get some water. PGB, I want an M60 and nukes. You need to play Ark then. Did your snake egg hatch yet? You should place it. Campfire Clowns, did you... oh, you're speaking to Campfire Clowns, not to me. Place it in the animal pen. So, you get your snake egg, it'll take, I think, 24 hours or so to hatch in your normally. But if you stick it in a compost bin, it'll be finished in just over an hour. And then you put it in the animal pen, and as we saw, if you have shade spice, if you make shade spice, what was it, perfected meat with the exquisite meat, that'll give you the 30% chance of getting a elite cobra. But the elite cobras are rubbish. You need to have the bizarre recipe to turn it into those colossal serpents, so that you get a half decent pet. It says 6 badges, totally forgot about that. But didn't Moira take care of that? How do gaming? Not sure. I think... so the good thing is the snakes, hatchlings don't expire, so they won't die. Whereas most other animals that you hatch their eggs, they will die after, I think, 24 hours? Unless you put them in the fridge. Let's go down here and follow the river. Let's see. I bet you didn't forget about the 19 silver I owe you. A Yeti would be good to test out. Okay. Yep. We could do that too. We'll have to go and get some Yetis. Where are the Yetis come? The Yetis come from the Nordheimers? Nordheimer hearts? I think. Which we don't have one of them yet. Howdo's informing Campfire Clowns that he can't even take care of himself, never mind take care of animals. What about the new werebears from the event? Are they good? I did a test when that Jebel Sag Sacred Hunt event first came out. I did a test, and both the Like there's a werewolf pet that you can get from the vendor with the fangs, and the werebear were both very good. But I wasn't looking at them as closely as I look at things now, so they had good HP. How much armor and stuff they've got, I'm not really sure. Is it? It's up that way. Up that ramp. Buddy B saying, when I first played it with it, it was super... this way? When I first played it, was super disappointed when I saw how to play it by anger, and to be fair, others, I gave it another shot 2 years ago. Hooked ever since. I found that a lot of people have put in the comments that they tried to play the game, especially back in the days before journey steps, when it really didn't tell you, there wasn't much in the way of a tutorial, didn't teach you much about the game at all. That a lot of people tried to play the game, got confused, didn't know what they were doing, and stopped playing it again. And I've had a lot of comments saying how thankful they were at watching my beginner's guide videos and getting them into the game, which I'm really glad about, because as you may have noticed, I love this game. Down you go. Just take these out while I read the chat. I'm stuck. Why am I... There we go. Back my cat insisted on going outside to roll around in the dirt, so I was literally touching grass. Black Yeti pet from Hearts, Hanuman's Grotto. Yeah, I've never actually had one of them before. The normal Yeti pet comes from Hanuman's Grotto with the hearts as well. Now I've had them before, but again never really used them for anything serious. Until finding Brownie here, I've never taken on a boss with a pet before. Enoch saying, if you hadn't started watching Anger's and other playthrough, I'd still be stuck on that cross singing always look on the bright side of life. Black Yeti's hard to get and not much worth it, says Sheriff. Yeti Protector is Nordheimer Hearts. Yes, that's what I thought it was. Heart of the Heroes gives you the gorillas, and the gorillas are definitely rubbish pets. They just look cool, yeah, says Sheriff. Bulwark says, I guess they are pretty hard to get, I assume. Is that the black ones? Black Yeti is from Heart of the Sands. Oh wow, so that's putting the three pieces together to get a Heart of the Sands, then just to trade it in to get a chance of getting a Black Yeti. Ouch. That would be expensive. Right. Learn that. New emote. Bind to that. Right, so for those who don't know, down there is the Undead Dragon. There are, let me think, 3 ways to get down there? 4 ways to get down there? One of them is to go over here and go in the front door and come through under the ground into here, down there. But that area there, inside here, that gets to get here is full of corruption. So you'll have a lot of corruption by the time you get down to get into there. Another way is just to parkour your way down. You can drop down onto these stone things and parkour your way down there at risk of falling to your death. Another way is you can build a vertical elevator on one of these bits of rock and just take the lift all the way to the bottom. And the other way is to use the slow fall spell, which, let me see, which one is it? Forces of Nature. And that one there, gusts of air, slow your descent, and it needs one of those pouches. There we go, and then we can just walk off of here and we'll slowly fall to the bottom. And safe like that. Right. Bears come down too. Horses down too. Yep, Robert's here. I've got to go just for. Oh, we've still got the super light. Whee! We've got to go around the outside and take out all the skeletons first. More XP. DC Weston says, I was one of those. I downloaded CE in 2017 and quit playing because it was so bad. Your vids helped me come back. So what I've heard, so back in those days, for those who remember playing in those days, we didn't have the journey steps as we have now. We just had a set of journey steps that are like achievements that you could complete. And there was rows of them, and it didn't tell you the next row until you actually completed one row, although if you did it you could complete it, but it didn't really teach you much about how to play the game. And things like the crafting benches says like put meat and, oh, there's a stone, put meat and fuel in here to cook the meat. The forges said put in iron, stone and fuel to make iron bars, but then didn't explain that you could use the same forge to make brick. Didn't explain how you made steel. Oh, there's a crystal golem thing. So that has obviously been changed quite considerably now with the journey step system that we have now that explains how to do things a lot better. But apparently, from what I've heard, it was the players back in the beta days that decided that they didn't want to be like handheld and shown how to do everything in the game, and they wanted to be able to find it out for themselves. Whether that's true, I don't know, but that's what I've heard. Right, don't want the stone, I don't want the iron stone, but we'll take the other stuff. So yeah, it's a much more different game now. And then obviously when the age system came in and we got sorcery added and then all that sort of stuff, it's changed dramatically again. Chest here. Who's completing? Archer over there. This used to be where you had to come to get the Grey Lotus. This is one of the best places to get Grey Lotus originally, before it's now everywhere. To get seeds and grow it yourself. Ow, 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 ow. Can't you see I'm looting? I need to eat. Eldani is saying he got a black yeti from their first try with the Heart of the Sands, which is great as it's a pain to gather all the pieces and travel. Yeah, to get all... Have we done that in this playthrough? I think we have. Where we've been to the tomb here to get one piece. You go up to Jamila's Liberty to get another piece. You go up to the passage to get another piece. Then you come all the way down to the Sandswept Woods and combine the three to get the Heart of the Sands, which you then have to take over here to Hanneman's Grotto and hand it in for a limited chance of getting something useful. I'll take the steel ones. I'm okay with all that stuff. And if we run up here, this is where we learn all the Dragonbone stuff. Dragonbone shields, weapons, and armor. And if we had a human follower, we would be using the Dragonbone armor, or the chest piece at least, to give them the best strength damage. It's part of this best strength kit. But Brownie doesn't wear armor. Gilbert's saying, some of my friends don't play survivals or open world sandbox because they don't want to figure out stuff or create their own missions or goals. I mean, I understand that. It's not for everyone, but I love the whole sandbox environment thing. I got into this from playing Ark, which again, open survival building thing with dinosaurs. But when I got the combat in Ark is really bad, because you just go click, 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 because you use your dinosaurs to fight, and you just go left click for bite, 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 and he who does the most damage wins. Where when you get into the combat on Conan Exiles, it's like there's actual combat there. And I've loved it ever since. 6 Bars is saying, yes, I was under the impression that it's 100%, but could be wrong. Maybe we'll have to check, eh? What mods are you using? So, Manage. The mods I'm using are I have custom UI mod to change the UI in the top corner. I've got Pippi installed, but that's just for managing my online servers. There's nothing that Pippi does on this single player game that I use. So Hosaf's custom UI mod changes the UI up in the top left hand corner, gives you the option in the mini map, and also does the damage numbers that come up in the middle of the screen as well. So no game changing stuff at all, just UI change. Slowfall and Mass Cull are your favourites, plus Corpse Recall, as I find myself dying a lot. Don't really use Mass Cull. I tend to find that if you're out harvesting yourself, you get more items than you would get from Mass Cull, but I can see how a lot of people like it. Sorcery Snowfall is Tarsquid's preferred way to get down here at all. No danger, too easy, says Sesame. That's true. When I did my Nomad run, getting down here, I parkoured down the structure. That was the most scared I was for the whole Nomad hardcore run, because that was going to be the easiest way for me to die and the stupid way for me to die. But we did it. We made it. Right, let's get going. Sesame's not liking the direction Ark's. I hate what's going on with Ark at the moment, which is why I'm no longer playing Ark. I was keen to give it a try on the Ragnarok map, because I really like the Ragnarok map, but it seems to be like infinitely getting delayed. It was supposed to be out like, oh, watch, there's the swipe. And it rears back like that. Oh, see? Brownie doesn't get knocked back. Get the stacks of Sunder up on it. So then Brownie can do 479 damage. Oh, fire breath. How's the fire breath from a undead dragon? Whoa. Come on. Fire breath again. Brownie's at 8,923 HP. And it's down. Oh, level 19 now. Excellent. Excellent. Almost at level 20. What perks have you got? So it's got okay perks. They're in the right area. We've got a perk for grit, give it more armor, but only +3, and we've got a perk for strength, which is +3 strength weapon. Which these are okay, but obviously +3 is not that great. We want +15s, and we probably don't even care about having the one for vitality, because he's got so much vitality anyway. Probably, and he's also got so much armor, 1500 armor. That's better. That's a proper perfected heavy armor set sort of level armor. So his damage reduction's fine, his HP's fine. We probably just want to have strength damage on it, just to get as much damage as possible. Right, what do we get on here? We've got a hardened steel great axe, we've got some light padding, hardened leather, lance cord, and some star metal bars. But more importantly, if we hack it up, we get a bunch of dragon bone, the star of the champion item that we need, another dragon horn, some demon blood. Oh. So we've got to give you that and that to carry and that to carry. And 22. Let's go up and do the upper level as well. Never remember which way is which. Right, we're going to have to run through some corruption. There we go. Oh, is this the way? No, this is the way up, isn't it? And then there's a skeleton there and a skeleton here. Oh no. Run out of stamina. Let's take the silver dust. Right, and then get out of the corruption. And get some more skeletons. Brownie, are you coming? Here he comes. Oh, I've got chat to catch up with. Brownie, you take on that skeleton. Let's see, where are we? It says to me, my old videos are like time capsule. I have footage of the old journey steps, mention of the Ring of Set. Yes, it does. I think that's one of the last ones, which obviously you can't get the Ring of Set in the map. David said, I think sorcery could do with being overhauled. There are a few spells that are not really that great. Yeah, I mean, I don't imagine they're going to be doing an overhaul in the near future, since it's not that long since they introduced it, but I'm just not sure what their mindset was thinking about on a lot of those spells. I bet you haven't gone on this playthrough, Anger, because Galman's tomb is not marked on your map. That's true. That is true. We haven't been there. And since we said not liking the arcs intended, yeah, we've went through that. Manoj says, I've such friends too who don't want to run around and figure things out. They just want to look up guide and wiki. That is the thing, that there is obviously a wiki out there and there's loads of video guides. So if you don't know how to do anything, then before we had the journey steps, that's how we had to learn stuff. I spent a lot of time, and still do spend a lot of time, on the wiki. Earlier on in the stream, I had to look up the wiki to see what the best food for the snakes were. And you could just work it all out yourself, but that's going to take a lot of stakes to try and work out what food is the best one to get. Absolutely loved exploring this world and role-playing as a character in this game. Excellent. And Galen says, here, Conan Exiles is the game that made my channel. Indeed, Galen, it's the same for me. No matter what other game I try and play on this, it gets nowhere near the views of Conan Exiles. I'm quite surprised that No Man's Sky is actually growing on my channel. Anybody who's actually got a channel, I presume that you'll find that when you put out there's one of the skeletal men. When you put out a new video of a new series, episode 1 does the best, and then it slowly tails off over time with each episode that comes out. But what I'm finding, and YouTube tells you that in the first one day, this is your top 10 videos, and a lot of my No Man's Sky videos are actually higher than the previous ones. They're actually growing, but none of them get anywhere close what Conan Exiles stuff does. Let's see what happens when Dune Awakening comes out. We'll see how popular that is, which is not long now. The best part of the game or any survival game is learning to craft things and trying to survive. I never played a survival game until I can... Oh, okay, so this is your first survival game. So I do think Oh, wait a minute, we've scrolled off. We've scrolled off again. Bulwark says, I like games that makes me think and challenge me, indeed. Now says, absolutely loved exploring this world. Okay, we've read that one. This may anger several nomads here. Don't scare them too much. All right, okay. Yes. Yeah, oh no, the nomad challenge is easy. It's really easy. And to be fair, when I did the nomad challenge, it was at the time that I did it solo. The videos are on the channel. The hardcore nomad challenge. But I did it at the time that the Headhunter event first came along. So I was able to get myself some skulls, sorcerer skulls, and then get a tier 4 combatant, which I got. Ooh, who did I get? Marcus the Beastmaster, or whatever his name is, and managed to get us both. At that time, you could go to the different caravans and get particular legendary weapons. So we both had legendary maces, which was that made it easier. Went up to the Mounds of the Dead, got him epic Sumerian steel armor, and then we were pretty much sorted after that, with the exception of the scariness of dropping down into here. But yeah, it's great. It's great. It's a new way of playing the game. You have to be a lot more careful because obviously if you die, it's over. So you do have to take. I think when Whack486 did his one, he was still playing it the way he would normally play it, and like he got stuck in walls and stuff. But you have to think about that kind of thing and take things a bit more easy. Oh, there's a sandstorm going on outside, but we're okay in here. The best part of the game, or any survival game, is learning to craft. Yep, we've read that one. David has been playing on and off for 4 years. Nice one. Sesame is trying to recruit him as a nomad. Bored of the usual game, try the nomadic permadeath run. It makes veterans appreciate the game even more. 100% does. And I'm very keen to watch more people doing it. Game Labs is saying heavy armor with bulked plated crafted by the shield right is around 1600-ish value. So yeah, that's where Brownie is at now. Bulwark says, I tried pure nomad challenge last time I played before the winter holidays. Got to the last part, the volcano, and wanted to bypass all the serpent men, which I did before in the past, but they changed. Yeah, the volcano would be harder now as well, because all those uber buffed humans at the start of it. The damage the lava does, and oh, he died to the lava. Oh dear. So did you go through Dragon's Mouth there? Because if you go through Dragon's Mouth, you don't have to touch any of the lava. Excuse me, let me take a drink. Jim Ewing is saying you'll have to try the Nomad sometime. Game Lad says, let's face it, if the games told people everything, us creators would be out of the job. That's true. Because people don't really that bothered about watching Let's Plays now. It's guide videos seems to be a bigger thing. If we didn't have anything to give guides on, then yeah, our content would be pretty poor. David William is looking forward to the new game from the No Man's Sky developers, Light My Fire. Indeed. Bulwark says, me too. For the No Man's Sky people, I completed the Relic Ritual, Relic Expedition this weekend. I did that, started it on Friday night and finished it off yesterday. I got all that goodies from that. Sesame saying, Anger, well, you know you're invited to run Nomad with us. You're always invited. Thank you so much, Sesame. As always, time is my boss, is the issue. Finding time to do other stuff. Especially at the weekend, because like Friday and Saturday is really family time for me. that's where the... Right, you go there. This is where the guy has obviously been in a bit of an issue. A skeleton with some arrows in it, and this guy... Ooh. He's got different armour on now. Interesting. I'm sure he just used to be in medium armour before. Standard medium armour, but now he's in... I don't even know what that armour is. It looks like some sort of sorcery armour. Interesting. Olaf Schneider says, guys, hit the like button. Thank you very much. Hit the like button, but remember, smash it gently. DC Weston, next Conan Exiles playthrough will be Sesame's Nomad Challenge. Excellent. Nice one. Okay, we've done the ring. We're back around here again. Maybe someone could make a quest for Fire CE mod. Maybe? How do gaming? Glimmer Moon was your go-to. Of course, you could get Glimmer Moon from the... Because those caravans now only do hard and steel weapons. You can't get legendary weapons from them anymore. Ian Ogg saying, Conan and Elite are very similar. There's no real right way to play them, but there are plenty of wrong ones. Oh, throat feels dry. Yeah, so any sort of open world kind of thing, it's... let me see, use, and take some food. It's a sandbox, so you can basically do it as you wish. And there are many right ways, but there are also some wrong ways as well. Bulwark says, I'm almost at the boss, but I didn't want to go through the Serpent Men and mini boss there. They just jumped to cross the lava and to climb up the last part near the boss. Oh, okay, I know where you're at. Oh dear. It's nothing to do with live streams of newish games still do big views. Some that do nothing but live streams of newish games still do big views. Yeah, I mean, there certainly is, yeah. Elite was one of your top 10 goats. I played Elite, I mean, I was a Kickstarter backer of Elite Dangerous originally, so I got the founder ship, and there's actually there is a NPC in the game that is named after me. Oh, these have all respawned. Get out of the corruption. Oh, I was just checking that the boss hasn't respawned. Yes, I played it for a while, but I haven't played it for a long time. And actually, just last week, I saw a video of someone who'd been playing it for like years, deleting their save file and going back to the start again. Which I thought, oh, that'll be interesting, but it turned out it's not really a game for viewing. It was a bit boring watching a many-hour stream. Somebody else coming? Right, this is the way in or out through all the corruption, so let's just run through here. Again, there's some chests here that we should get some Grey Lotus stuff in. Don't want to spend too much time in here because there is just constant corruption. But we're on our way out, so it's not such a big deal. Going in to fight the boss with 50% corruption is bad. Unless you come in here with a dancer as a follower who can cleanse you as you go. And you have to be careful because just down there is a giant 3-skull snake boss. There's little cobras coming up there. I'm out of stamina. More cobras. Get. So we're hugging the left-hand side so as not to pull that snake. The arena. And we're out. So we've got a little bit of corruption, but it's not too bad. Right, we need to get home and get this corruption cleansed. Let me see. Quickest way to get home from here is go up this way. Crowfodder, good to see ya. Just wanted to pop in and hit the like button. Thank you. I just got done watching the 1922 Nosferatu. Okay, the original black and white one. Especially when I found that real-time trading website. Oh, have I missed some? Is that Elite Chat? I remember there being a website that you could go and you could find all the prices of different things. I ended up getting like a little trade run where I could go to this system, buy this thing, fly to that system, sell it, buy that thing, and it maybe take you half an hour to do that loop, but in that half an hour you would make millions. So I ended up getting stuck. That's why I stopped playing. Was it I got bored. Kind of, you're stuck in that loop. It's like knowing that you could get so much money by doing that loop. It was difficult to then not do that loop anymore and go and try and do anything more interesting. Apart from a little bit of bounty hunting, maybe. But No Man's Sky is giving me my fix that Elite Dangerous is no longer giving me. I'm really enjoying No Man's Sky. For a game when it came out, I thought that looks like the worst game in the world. It's obviously had such huge updates, and they're updating it constantly for free. Once you buy the game, all the updates are totally free. Then I'm really enjoying that. You can do all the stuff that I thought Starfield would do. No Man's Sky is doing it for me. I just played Elite back in the 80s. So I played Elite back in the 80s too. That is, I played it on my ZX Spectrum, and that's why I let's see. Yeah, okay. That's why I ended up the Kickstarter funding for when Elite Dangerous came out. Back to Tinkerbot. Hey guys, still at work? How's everyone doing? We're all doing good, thank you. Hope work's okay. Sorry that you have to work on a Sunday. Suppose I could do a good challenge video on Elite, but the editing would be horrendous trying to keep it interesting. Yeah, that's the thing, yeah. And, oh, we didn't get kicked off the horse. Slave Road, we've not been here before. David saying, heck, haven't seen that version in years. I was about 8 or 9 years old when I first saw that. My dad used to go fishing at weekends and my mum would let me stay up and watch horror. Oh, Nosferatu. Have you seen the new Nosferatu? I wasn't that impressed. And also, took the grandkids to see the Minecraft movie yesterday. I won't go and see it again, but the kids enjoyed it. We'll just leave it at that. They really enjoyed it. Not so much, but it was okay. It was okay, I suppose. Zareth is playing No Man's Sky right now. Excellent. You want to watch another silent movie? Watch Metropolis. Oh yeah. Enoch says, I think you'll have to give No Man's Sky a try. Good one. And you can get it for, I don't know, 13 quid on CD keys kind of thing. And the amount of content that has come to it since I started playing it, less than a year ago, is incredible. The amount of updates that they do. Expeditions are a great idea. Yeah, the expeditions are cool. The expeditions are cool. No Man's Sky keeps players because of the expedition and updates. I can fully understand that. And Ian, it's not quite a guide, but I know a bunch of videos that you can watch that can give you a little bit of a clue on what to do in No Man's Sky. I didn't have a clue what I was doing myself, so I wouldn't exactly call it a beginner's guide, but if you kind of follow along roughly, it might help you out. Oh, let me run around here. How do you say? I had a manager at work who said, "What's the point in playing games? It's a waste of time." I replied, "You read books and watch films. There's no difference, but games, it's my story." Indeed, indeed. Beck saying, playing Exiled Lands, just did a few purges and built a tavern, going to the Well of Skelos next. Take care, take care. Aero says, well, got my pickaxe skill to 20 and I've gathered 2,948 sapphires, but I'm a little burnt out grinding, so... Well done, well done. Right, let's park you... Nope, come back. Come back. Stand guard there. Alright, let's go and check if I've got that horn thing here. I don't see it there. There it is. Frost Giant Bodyguard. Let's... Now we're, of course, we're over encumbered. Can we chuck some stuff away? That better? That's better. Right, let's go and check this guy out. There he is. Right, so he starts off with 1,287 HP. He only has 106. Oh, look at that. He wants spiced haunch. Spice soup. Oh, so he's got to be a pain to level because you've got to actually do cooking. Bone broth for his strength and spice soup. Interesting. So 1,287 and 106, and then if we make him follow us, 5,800 and... What? 5,877 it went up to, and 666 armor. So again, a couple of levels on his armor, and his health is good. It looks like he'll be fine. I wonder how much damage he does. Let's give him something to fight. Fight that. 70 damage to the scorpion. He's got no buffs, obviously. Another 70. He's quite slow attacks. Do you do the whirlwind thing? Okay, he leveled up. Probably don't want to level him up too much without having the right buffs. Anyway, there we go. We'll have to do a little bit more work on him. He'll have obviously the same problem as being a massive follower. Okay. Of course, it goes dark. Right. It's actually past 10 o'clock. Various people are saying good night. So, yeah. Thank you, everybody. It's great to see you all again tonight. Thanks for all the chat going on. There's a lot of chat going on tonight. So we probably didn't get as much done as we wanted to do because we were busy chatting, but that's the whole point of why I do streams, is to interact and chat with you people. So instead of typing in the comments on the videos, I just a way of one-to-one or one-to-many chatting. So this is what it's all about. So thank you everybody for being here as always. Thanks for everybody in chat. Thanks for anybody who's just been watching away. Have a great what's left of your weekend. Have a great week going forward, and hopefully see you back here next time for more Conan Fun and Games. Okay, good night folks.